So how do you find out the coordinates of A, B, and C? First of all, if you see the point A is here, right? Just directly above this 2, right? So this distance here is 2 units, right? In the positive direction of x, right? This is x dash, this is y, and this is your y dash. This is negative direction of y. Now 2 is in the positive direction of x. So therefore, what should be the coordinates of A? X coordinate will clearly be this 2, right? What about the y coordinate? If you see this in the level of 3, right? So that means the y coordinate, and that too in the positive direction. So the y coordinate will be 3. The coordinates of A is 2, 3. Let's write it here, 2, 3. Next, coordinates of B. Okay, so which point is your B? This is your B. Okay. Now if we see B here, this distance here is 1 unit or -1 in the negative direction of x. So the x coordinate will be -1. And what about this distance? This distance is your y coordinate, right? So what is this distance? If you see, this distance is 2 units, right? So the y coordinate will be +2 because it's in the positive direction of y. Okay. So coordinates of B is -1, 2. Next, coordinates of C. Okay, so this point is your C, right? This point. So how do you find out the coordinates of C? C is a point on the x-axis. That means the y coordinate will be 0. Also, it is at a distance of 3 units from the origin in the positive direction of x. So therefore, it will be 3, 0. Okay, so the coordinate of C is 3, 0. Right? So we have got that answers the first question, first part of the question. Second part of the question says equation of the line through A parallel to BC. Let us
Good
say you
morning,
have
sir.
morning. Let us say you have a line like this, which passes through the point A, okay, and which is parallel to BC. Okay, you need to find out the equation of this dotted line. So how do you find out? First of all, because these two lines are parallel, their slope must be equal, right? So therefore, we'll first find out the slope of BC. We know the points, 2 points on the line on this line, right? BC, right? So you can find out the slope. Write down the coordinate first. Here, B is -1, 2, and C is 3, 0. Therefore, slope of BC is m equal to, let's say m1 equal to, consider this as your x1, y1, this as your x2, y2, right? This will be y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Put the values. Y2 is 0, y1 is +2, x2 is 3, and x1 is -1. Is -2 by 4. Right? So this will cancel here. So you will get here -1/2. So you have got the slope of BC. Now once you get the slope of BC, what is the slope of this dotted line here? This one. They must be equal. Therefore, slope of the required line is m2. Let's say, okay, which must be equal to m1, which is equal to -1/2. Right? So we have got the slope of this line m2 equal to -1/2. Right? Okay. Now we know the slope of this line and we know the point through which it passes. Therefore, we can find out the equation of this line by what standard form? The point slope form. Hence, required equation of the line through A, 2, 3 and parallel to BC is You have, consider this as your x1, y1. Okay. You have y minus y1 is equal to, slope of this line is m2 into x minus x1. Now put the values. We have y minus y1 here is 3. Slope of the line is minus half into x minus x coordinate of this is 2. Okay, so we have got the equation of the line. We get y minus 3 is equal to minus x minus 2. We get y minus 3 is equal to minus x plus 2. Now you take x on the other side. It's x. You take x on this side, and you take 2 also on the other side. So you get x plus y minus 3 minus 2 is equal to 0. That means you're getting x plus y minus 5 is equal to 0. This is the required equation of the line through A and parallel to BC. That is the required equation of this dotted line. Okay. So that finishes this question. Let's proceed to the next question. Okay, so the next question that I want to do here is question number 33. Okay. The question here is, three coordinates are given to you, A, B, and C, which are the vertices of triangle ABC. Okay. Find the equation of the median through the, find the equation of, and you have two parts, right, to this question. First part says, find the equation of the median through A, and the second question states the altitude of the triangle through B. Okay. So let us first draw a triangle. Any scalene triangle we draw. And mark the vertices. This is your vertex A, which is 2 minus 4. The vertex B is there. Coordinates are 3, 3. The vertex C is there, minus 1, 5. Okay, these three vertices are given. Next, you need to find, first question is, find the equation of the median of the triangle through A. Now, what should be the median of the triangle through A? How will the median look like? You take the midpoint here of BC, right? Call this point M. Okay, and if we join, we draw a line, straight line here from A. If we join A and M, then this line AM is called the median of this triangle. You need to find out the equation of this median. Okay. So how will you find out the equation of this median? First of all, since M is the midpoint of BC, let's mark it here. M is the midpoint, so these two are equal. Since M is the midpoint of BC, therefore coordinates of M from midpoint formula, this is your x1, y1, x2, y2, right? x1 plus x2 by 2. So 3 plus of minus 1 by 2. And then you have 3 plus 5 by 2. So you're getting the coordinates of M as 3 minus 1 by 2, which is 1. And 5 plus 3, 8 by 2, which is 4. So you've got the coordinates of M here. What is the coordinates of M? 1, 4. Now what should be the equation of the median AM? You know 2 points on this straight line, right? You have point A and you have the point M. You know the 2 points on the straight line. So what form should you use? You're going to use 2-point form to find out the equation of the median AM. Hence, let's write the coordinate first and then we can. So here A is 2 minus 4 and M is 1, 4. Hence, required equation of the median AM is, okay, consider this as your x1, y1, this as your x2, y2, right? So this is your x1, y1, this is your x2, y2, and use 2-point form. Y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. Put the values simply and you will get the equation of the median. You get y minus y1 here is minus 4 is equal to y2 here is 4 minus y1 is again minus 4 divided by x2 is 1 minus x1 into x minus x1 is 2, right? Now we should simplify this. So y plus 4 is equal to 8 by minus 1, which is simply minus 8 into x minus 2. And y plus 4 is equal to minus 8x plus 16. Okay. Take 8x on this side and 16 also on this side. You get 8x plus y plus 4 minus 16 is equal to 0. So you get 8x plus y minus 12 is equal to 0. And that is the required equation of the straight line. That is the median. That is the required equation of the median AM. Now you have a second part to this question also. And what is that second part? That second part states you need to find the equation of the altitude through B. Now what should be the altitude through B? Let's see. Same triangle. Let's draw a new figure. Triangle will, the coordinates of A, B, and C will be the same. This time you don't have to find out the equation of the median. This time you will have to find out the equation of the altitude. Okay, so look at this. We have A, you have B, and you have C. Okay, these are the vertices of the triangle ABC. Find the equation of the altitude of the triangle through B. Now, what will be the altitude of the triangle through B? From B, if we drop a perpendicular on the opposite side, this will be the altitude of the triangle through B, right? Let us call this P. Okay, you need to find out the equation of BP. Okay, let's see how to find out the equation of BP. This is not the median. Remember, P is not the midpoint of AC this time. Okay, because BP is the altitude. So how do you find out? See that you can find out the slope of this line AC, right? Once you know the slope of this line, you can find out the slope of BP also, right? Because they are perpendicular to each other. How? What is the slope of BP? It is the negative reciprocal of the slope of AC, right? You can find out the slope of BP. Now, once you have found out the slope of BP, let us say the slope of BP is, let's say, M2. Okay. You know the slope of BP, you have found out, and you know the point through which this line BP passes. What is the point through which it passes? B33. So on this line BP, you know one point and you know the slope. That means which form should you use? You'll use the point slope form ultimately, right? So let's see how to work it out. Let's first find out the slope of AC. So here A is 2 minus 4 and C is minus 1, 5. So therefore slope of AC is, let's say, M1. Consider this as your X1, Y1, X2, Y2. So this will be Y2 minus Y1 by X2 minus X1. So this is 5 minus 4 by -1 minus 2, which is 5 plus 4 by -3, which is 9 by -3, which will give you -3, right? So this is the slope of AC. So what should be the slope of BP? Therefore, slope of the altitude BP is M2 is equal to negative reciprocal of the slope of AC, right? So this is -1 by -3, which is 1 by 3, right? You have got the slope of BP also. Now, once you get the slope of BP, which is BP you have got as 1 by 3 M2, isn't it? So you know the slope of this line and you know the point through which it passes. So we are going to use the point slope form. Hence, required equation of the altitude BP is y minus y1 is equal to m2 into x minus x1. Now, which one is your x1, y1? This time, this one is your x1, y1, right? So x1 is 3 and y1 is also 3 and m2 is 1/3. Put the values here. Y minus x1, y1 both are 3. What is the value of the slope we have got? 1/3. And x1 was also 3, right? So now you can simplify this to get your equation. Cross multiply, right? So you get 3y minus 9 is equal to x minus 3. Now you take x on this side and plus 3 also on this side. Or better, you take it on the other side. You take 3y here and plus 9 here. So you get x minus 3y plus 9 minus 3. X minus 3y plus 6 is equal to 0. This is the required equation of the line, of the altitude BP. Okay, that finishes this question. Let's proceed to the next question. Question number 35. Okay, question is points E and B have coordinates 7, -3 and 1, 9 respectively. And you have 3 parts to the question. First part is find the slope of AB. Now this is the easiest part. Let's write here first the coordinates. Here A is given to be 7, -3 and B is given to be 1, 9. Okay. First question is slope of the line AB. Slope of AB is, consider this as your x1, y1. Consider this as your x2, y2. What is the slope of the line joining 2 points? 2 given points. Y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Okay, let's call this m. M is equal to. That means this you get. Y2 here is 9. Y1 here is -3. X2 here is 1. And x1 here is 7. Okay. So you get 9 plus 3 by -6. Which you get as 12 by -6. This cancels. So you get -2. Okay. This is the slope of AB. M. Okay. Now we go proceed to the second question. Second question is equation of the perpendicular bisector of the line segment AB. Now what do you mean by perpendicular bisector of the line segment? Let's draw this to get an idea. Let us say this is your line segment. Okay. A. coordinate is 7 minus 3 and this coordinate is B19. What do you mean by the perpendicular bisector of this line? Perpendicular bisector of this line will be such a line that will bisect, not only bisect this line, that is, if you call this point as P, this line, then this part AP must be equal to PB, because this straight line, let's call this line as L. Okay, this line L intersects the line AB at the point P, such that AP is equal to PB. These two lengths are equal. Also, this is 90 degree. Then L is called the perpendicular bisector of the line AB, right? We need to find out the equation of the perpendicular bisector of AB. So how do you really find out the equation of the perpendicular bisector? First of all, see that P is a midpoint. You can find out the coordinates of P, right? So let's find out the coordinates of P first. Here A is 7 minus 3 and B is 19. Therefore, coordinates of P is x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2, right? So this is your x1 y1, this is your x2 y2, right? So x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2, which is P 4, 6, 9 minus 3 is 6, 6 by 2 is 3, P4 3. So this coordinate is 4 3, right? Now once we have got the coordinates of P, we want to find out the equation of the line through P. And what is the line through P? These two are also perpendicular to each other, isn't it? AB is perpendicular to the line L, the perpendicular bisector. So therefore, what is the slope of this line AB we have got here? Minus 2. So therefore, what should be the slope of this line? If I call this line as M dashed, we have found out the slope of this line AB as minus 2, isn't it? Therefore, the slope of this line, if it is M dashed, is minus 1 by M, isn't it? Minus 1 by minus 2, which is half, right? So we'll find out the slope of this line. Therefore, slope of the perpendicular bisector of AB is, let's call this M dashed, is negative reciprocal of the slope of the line AB, which is minus 1 by minus 2, which is half, right? So we've got the slope as half. So we know the slope of this line as half, and we know one point on this line. So which form should I use? The point slope form, right? Hence, required equation of the perpendicular bisector of AB is, write the point slope form, y minus y1 is equal to, what is the slope of the perpendicular bisector? M dashed, right? So M dashed into x minus x1, right? So put the values. What is x1 y1 here? This P43 is x1 y1, right? So what is the y1? Y coordinate of 43, which is 3. M dashed value we have got as half. X minus, what is x1? X1 is the x coordinate of P, which is 4. Now you can simplify this to get your required equation. Okay, take this side and take this also this side. You get x minus 2y plus 6 minus 4 is equal to 0. You get x minus 2y plus 2 is equal to 0, right? This is the required equation of the perpendicular bisector of the line AB. That finishes the second question. Okay. Okay. So these two questions are done. Let's see the third question. The value of P if minus 2P lies on it. Lies on it means what? Lies on the perpendicular bisector. Let's say minus 2P is here. Then what should be the value of P? See, you already know the equation of this line, right? We have already found this out. What is the equation of this line? X minus y plus 2. X minus 2y plus 2 equal to 0. Now, if minus 2P lies on this line, then it must satisfy the equation of this line. That means if I put x is equal to minus 2 and if I put y is equal to p in this equation, I'll get the equation value of p, right? So let's proceed. The equation of the perpendicular bisector of AB is x minus 2y plus 2 equal to 0, right? And they have said that minus 2p is a point on this. So since minus 2p lies on this line, therefore, what can you say? You put x is equal to minus 2 and you put y is equal to p, right? And now you can find out the value of this. So this 2 will cancel. So you get minus 2p is equal to 0. That means you get p is equal to 0. And that is the required equation. That is the required value of p. That is p is equal to 0. Okay. So let's see whether I have time for one more. Okay, so we finished 35. 36 it should be the next one. Let's see what 36 has to say. The points B and D are two opposite vertices of a square. Find the equation of the diagonal AC. Let's draw a square. This is a square. Okay. Points, let's call this ABCD. Okay. This is a square in which all the angles are 90 degree and all these are perpendicular, right? So this is your square. The what is given? Coordinates of B is given 1, 3, and coordinate of D is given 6, 8. Okay. These are the two opposite vertices of the square which are given to you. Question is find the equation of the diagonal AC. So you join A and C. A and C you join, and you need to find out the equation of the diagonal AC, right? So how will you find out the equation of the diagonal AC? You join BD also. Okay, let's join BD with a dotted line. Now what is BD? BD, if you see, is nothing but from the properties of square, you know that the diagonals of a square are perpendicular to each other. So this angle must be 90 degree. What else do you know? That this point P, point of intersection of the diagonals, the diagonals bisect each other, isn't it? So therefore, all these are equal, right? That means P is the midpoint of AC and P is also the midpoint of BD, right? So how will you now? This is just like the last question. How you that is when we found out the equation of the perpendicular bisector. That is just like that question. Okay. Except that in this case, these are nothing but the diagonals of a square. Let's first find out the slope of BD. So here P is 1, 3 and C is 6, 8. Therefore, slope of BD is M1 is equal to, this is your X1, Y1, X2, Y2. So this is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. This is 5, which is 1. Right? This is the slope of BD. So therefore, what is the slope of AC? Because they are perpendicular to each other, this will be the negative reciprocal of M1, which is minus 1 by 1, which is simply minus 1. Okay, so we have got the slope of AC. Now, since we need to find out the equation of AC, P is the midpoint of BC, right? So therefore, what should be the coordinates of P? Coordinates of P. Again, consider this as your x1 y1, this as your x2 y2. This line will be x1 plus x2. So x1 is 1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2, which is P 7 by 2, and this is 11 by 2, right? So you've got the coordinates of P, and you know the slope of AC also. That is, on this line, whose equation you need to find out, you know the this coordinate, and you know the slope also, M2 equal to minus 1, right? So which form should you use? The point slope form to find out the equation of AC. Hence, required equation of the diagonal AC is y minus y1 is equal to M2 into x minus x1. Now, which one is your x1 or y1 in this case? This time, this is your x1 y1, right? Because this is the point through which the line passes. So y minus y1 here is 11 by 2 equal to, and what is the slope of this line? Minus 1 into x minus x1 is 7 by 2. That is, we have y minus 11 by 2 is equal to minus x plus 7 by 2, right? So now you can shift this side and this side. So you get x plus y minus 11 by 2 minus 7 by 2 is equal to 0. You get x plus y minus, if you brackets, you get 11 plus 7 is equal to 0, isn't it? So here only if you introduce your brackets, minus sign, this will become a plus sign, right? You get x plus y minus 18 by 2 is equal to 0. You get x plus y minus, and this again, x plus y minus 9 is equal to 0. This is the required equation of the diagonal, okay, AC. So once you knew the coordinates of B and D, you found out the equation of the diagonal AC. Just like the previous problem where we are finding out the equation of the perpendicular bisector, because EC is the perpendicular bisector of BD. Okay, so I'll stop here.